The fluorescent lights of the grocery store buzzed overhead as Maya pressed her palms against the cold checkout counter, trying to steady her breathing. Her vision blurred with unshed tears, and somewhere in the background, she could hear the impatient sighs of the growing line behind her. The woman's words still hung in the air like poison. Are you stupid or something? How hard is it to scan groceries? Maya had faced plenty of challenges in her 19 years, poverty, homelessness, hunger, but somehow, being humiliated in front of dozens of strangers while just trying to do her job felt like the final straw. What that angry customer didn't know was that Maya had walked 5 miles to get to this job that morning. What nobody knew was that she'd been living in her car for 3 weeks. And what none of them could have imagined was that the quiet man in aisle 7 was about to become her unlikely hero. Maya Rodriguez had learned early that life wasn't fair. At 16, she'd dropped out of high school to care for her sick mother. At 17, she'd lost her. At 18, she'd aged out of the foster system with nothing but a garbage bag of clothes and a fierce determination to survive. Now, at 19, she was trying to build something, anything, that resembled a normal life. The job at Patterson's grocery had been a miracle. No high school diploma required, just a willingness to work hard. And Maya worked harder than anyone. She arrived early, stayed late, and never complained. The scanning system confused her sometimes. She'd never used much technology growing up, but she was learning. Every day, she got a little faster, a little better. This particular Saturday had started rough. Maya had woken in her Honda Civic with a crick in her neck and frost on the windows. The gym where she showered wouldn't open for another hour, so she'd done her best with baby wipes and dry shampoo in a gas station bathroom. Her manager, Mrs. Chen, had noticed the exhaustion in her eyes but said nothing, just squeezed her shoulder gently before opening the store. The morning rush was manageable. Maya knew most of the regular customers by now: Mr. Jenkins, who always bought cat food in bulk, the Williams family with their 3 boisterous kids, old Mrs. Patterson herself, who owned the store and remembered everyone's names. They were patient with Maya, even when she fumbled. But Saturday afternoons brought a different crowd. Impatient weekend shoppers, tourists passing through, people who didn't know her and didn't care to. The woman appeared in Maya's line around 2 o'clock. Designer handbag, perfect hair, an air of someone who'd never been told no in her entire life. She dumped her groceries on the belt without looking at Maya, already typing furiously on her phone. Maya started scanning. Organic avocados, imported cheese, a bottle of wine that cost more than Maya made in a day. Everything went fine until Maya reached the produce. The avocados wouldn't scan, the sticker was damaged. She tried manually entering the code, but her fingers slipped on the keypad. Once, twice. Oh my God, seriously. The woman looked up from her phone, eyes narrowed. I'm so sorry, just one moment. Maya's hands were shaking now, which only made it worse. This is ridiculous. How long have you been working here? 3 months, ma'am, I just need 2. 3 months and you still can't figure out a scanner. What are you, stupid or something? The words hit like a slap. Maya's face burned. She was aware of every person in line behind the woman, every employee who could hear, every customer in nearby aisles turning to look. Her throat closed up, and the numbers on the register screen started swimming. I'm calling the manager. The woman's voice rose. This is unacceptable. They're hiring people who can't even do basic tasks. Are you stupid or something? Can you even read? Something inside Maya crumbled. She'd endured so much, cold nights, empty stomachs, the grinding weight of loneliness, but this public humiliation broke something loose. Her eyes filled with tears she couldn't stop. Ma'am, please, I'm trying. Try harder. Or get a job you're actually capable of doing. Maybe something that doesn't require a functioning brain. Maya stood frozen, unable to move, unable to think. She wanted to disappear, to sink through the floor, to be anywhere but here. The whole store had gone quiet, watching her shame unfold. Then a voice cut through the silence. Calm, steady, but carrying an unmistakable edge. That's enough. A man stepped out of line, not from behind the rude customer, but from several aisles over. He was maybe 35, wearing jeans and a worn jacket, with kind eyes that held something fierce. A little girl, perhaps 6 years old, stood beside him, clutching his hand. The woman turned. Excuse me. I said that's enough. He walked closer, positioning himself between the woman and Maya. You're out of line. I'm out of line. I'm not the one who can't do a simple job. No, you're just the one bullying a teenager in public. His voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. Making her feel small so you can feel big. The woman's face flushed red. I have every right to complain about poor service. Poor service. The man laughed, but there was no humor in it. I've been shopping here every week for 2 years. You know what I've seen. I've seen this young woman help elderly customers carry their groceries to their cars. I've seen her give her own lunch to a homeless man outside. Last month, I watched her spend her break playing peekaboo with a crying baby so the mom could shop in peace. Maya stared at him, shocked. He'd noticed all that. You want to know what else I've seen? He continued, his voice growing stronger. I've seen her walk to work every morning before dawn. I've seen her studying for her GED in the break room. I've seen her work double shifts without complaint. And you know what that tells me? The store was completely silent now. It tells me she's working harder than most people in this room have ever worked in their lives. Including you. He looked directly at the woman. Having trouble with a scanner doesn't make someone stupid. It makes them human. But standing here, humiliating someone who's just trying to survive, that makes you cruel. The little girl tugged her father's hand. Daddy, why is that lady being mean? I don't know, sweetheart. But it's going to stop now. The woman opened her mouth, then closed it. For the first time, she seemed to actually see Maya, really see her. The teenager with tears streaming down her face, wearing a uniform that was too big because she'd lost weight, with dark circles under her eyes and calloused hands from hard work. I didn't, the woman stammered. No, you didn't, the man said quietly. You didn't see her as a person. Just an inconvenience. Mrs. Chen appeared at Maya's side, having rushed from the back office. Maya, honey, take a break. Go to the office. I've got this. She turned to the woman, her voice ice. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We don't tolerate harassment of our employees. But I'm calling the police. The woman grabbed her purse and stormed out, but not before Maya saw something flicker across her face. Shame, maybe. Or the first hint of self-awareness. Maya fled to the back office and collapsed into a chair, her whole body shaking. She'd almost made it through without completely breaking down, but now the sobs came hard and fast. She was so tired. Tired of fighting, tired of struggling, tired of being invisible until someone decided to make her a target. A soft knock at the door. Maya, it's Marcus. Can I come in? She wiped her face hastily. You don't have to. The door opened anyway. The man, Marcus, stepped inside, his daughter still holding his hand. Up close, Maya could see the kindness etched into every line of his face, the gentleness in his eyes. I'm sorry you had to see that, Maya managed. I'm sorry you had to experience it. He pulled over a chair and sat down, keeping a respectful distance. His daughter climbed into his lap. I'm Marcus Hayes. This is my daughter, Sophie. Hi, Sophie said shyly, waving. Hi, Maya whispered back, managing a weak smile. Marcus took a breath. Listen, I don't usually make speeches in grocery stores. But I couldn't stand there and watch that happen. Not to you. You really noticed all those things. The groceries, the homeless man. Of course I did. Marcus smiled gently. Maya, I'm a social worker. It's my job to notice people. Especially people who are struggling but still choosing kindness. That's rare. That's special. Sophie leaned forward. Daddy says you're brave. I'm not brave, Maya said automatically. I'm just trying to get by. That's exactly what makes you brave, Marcus said. I've worked with hundreds of kids aging out of foster care. I recognize the signs, the exhaustion, the determination, the way you carry everything on your shoulders like it's all up to you. He paused. You're living in your car, aren't you? Maya's eyes widened. She'd been so careful. How did you? I told you. I noticed things. His voice was infinitely gentle. How long? 3 weeks. The admission came out as a whisper. I'm saving up for an apartment. First, last, and deposit is just, it's a lot. But I'm close. Another month, maybe 6 weeks, and I'll have enough. Marcus exchanged a glance with his daughter, then looked back at Maya. I want to help. No. The word came out fiercer than Maya intended. I don't take charity. I work for what I have. It's not charity. It's investment. Marcus leaned forward. You know what that woman was wrong about. She called you stupid. But Maya, you're smarter than all of us. Do you know why? Maya shook her head, confused. Because most people, they're given everything. Parents, homes, education, opportunities. They succeed because the path was cleared for them. But you, his voice filled with admiration. You're building your path from scratch. Every single day, you wake up and choose to keep fighting. You could have given up 100 times, but you didn't. You're teaching yourself what you need to know. You're working while studying. You're surviving on your own at 19 years old. His eyes grew bright. My Sophie, I'm raising her alone. Her mom left when she was 2. Some days I barely hold it together. But seeing people like you, people who refuse to give up, that gives me hope. That reminds me that resilience is real. Maya felt something crack open in her chest. I'm just trying to survive. You're doing more than surviving. You're proving that circumstances don't define you. That kindness can exist even in hardship. That strength comes in unexpected forms. Marcus pulled out his wallet and handed her a business card. This is me. My work number, my cell. I have connections, housing programs, GED tutors, job training resources. Please, let me help you access them. Not charity. Just connections. Information. The kind of support everyone deserves but not everyone gets. Maya took the card with trembling hands. Why? Why do you care? Because someone cared about me once, Marcus said simply. When I was 22, alone with a baby. Barely making rent, a stranger helped me. Told me about resources I didn't know existed. Changed my life. And I promised myself I'd pay it forward whenever I could. Sophie nodded seriously. Paying forward is important. Very important, Marcus agreed, kissing the top of her head. He stood up. Think about it, okay. No pressure. But Maya, you don't have to do this alone. After they left, Maya sat in the quiet office, staring at the business card. For years, she'd built walls around herself, convinced that asking for help was weakness, that she had to prove she could make it completely on her own. But maybe strength wasn't about refusing help. Maybe it was about having the courage to accept it. Mrs. Chen came in a few minutes later. You okay, honey? I think so. Maya looked up. Mrs. Chen, you've been so good to me. Giving me this job, being patient while I learn. Why? The older woman smiled. Because I was you once. Came to this country at 17 with nothing. People helped me. Now I help others. It's just what we do. That night, Maya sat in her car under a streetlight, Marcus's card in her hand. She pulled out her phone, a cheap prepaid thing, and sent a text to the number. This is Maya. From the store. I think I'm ready for help. The response came within minutes. I'm glad. Let's meet Monday. And Maya, what I said today, I meant every word. You're not stupid. You're extraordinary. For the first time in 3 weeks, Maya slept soundly in that car. Because for the first time in years, she didn't feel alone. One act of kindness, one moment of someone truly seeing her, had changed everything. Sometimes it doesn't take much to save someone. Just witness them, defend them, remind them they matter. Marcus Hayes had done all three. And in doing so, he'd given Maya something more precious than money or resources, he'd given her hope.